Have you ever wondered why many Jews did not accept Jesus as the Messiah? Let's dive into the prophecies of the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible that foretold the coming of the Messiah. According to Jewish beliefs, these prophecies depict a descendant of King David who will bring about an era of peace, justice, and redemption for the Jewish people. Now, while Jesus was indeed from the lineage of David, his life and teachings did not quite match up with these prophecies. Many Jews did not see him as fulfilling the messianic prophecies. For instance, they expected the Messiah to be a human leader who would bring about both physical and spiritual liberation, restore the Davidic kingdom, rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, and gather the scattered Jewish exiles. Jesus' teachings and actions, however, did not meet these criteria for many Jews. Despite Jesus' lineage from David, his life and teachings were not seen as aligning with the prophesied Messiah. The Jewish concept of the Messiah differs greatly from the Christian understanding. In Jewish tradition, the Messiah is not a divine figure, but rather a human leader, a descendant of King David, who is anticipated to bring about both the physical and spiritual liberation of the Jewish people. The Jewish Messiah is expected to restore the Davidic kingdom, a prosperous and united nation under the rule of a king from David's lineage. Furthermore, he is prophesied to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, a sacred site of immense importance in Judaism, and gather the scattered Jewish exiles, reuniting the Jewish people in their ancestral homeland. These expectations, deeply rooted in Jewish tradition and scripture, create a vivid image of the Messiah as a beacon of hope and redemption. However, the life and teachings of Jesus did not align with these expectations for many Jews. Jesus' teachings and actions did not meet these criteria for many Jews, leading them to reject him as the Messiah. One significant reason for Jewish rejection of Jesus as the Messiah is his claim to divinity. You see, in the Jewish faith, God is conceived as an indivisible entity, as a transcendent being that stands beyond the boundaries of time, space, and human comprehension. This perception of God is deeply ingrained in Jewish theology. The concept of a divine being taking on human form doesn't quite fit into this framework. It stirs the waters of Jewish monotheism, a faith that has been steadfast in its assertion of the oneness of God. To them, the idea of God manifesting in human form is not only unusual, but it contradicts the very essence of their belief system. So, when Jesus claimed to be the Son of God, it was seen as a direct challenge to these fundamental Jewish doctrines. This claim was so radical that it led many Jews to perceive Jesus not as the promised Messiah, but rather as a false prophet or even a heretic. Jesus' claim to be the Son of God contradicted fundamental Jewish beliefs about the nature of God, leading many Jews to view him as a false prophet or even a heretic. From a Jewish perspective, Jesus did not fulfill many of the messianic prophecies outlined in the Tanakh. This is a key point in understanding why many Jews did not accept Jesus as the Messiah. Firstly, according to Jewish tradition, the Messiah is expected to establish a time of universal peace. This prophecy was not fulfilled during Jesus' time on earth. Wars continued to rage, and conflicts persisted, contradicting the prophecy of a peaceful era under the Messiah's rule. Secondly, the Tanakh prophesied the ingathering of all Jews to the land of Israel. This gathering of the dispersed Jewish people from around the world is a significant event in Jewish eschatology. However, this prophecy did not come to pass during Jesus' lifetime, nor in the centuries that followed. These unfulfilled prophecies, among others, are significant factors in the Jewish perspective. Without these fulfillments, many Jews saw no reason to accept Jesus as the promised Messiah. This, in essence, is why many Jews did not recognize Jesus as the fulfillment of the messianic prophecies. The cultural and political context of the time also played a significant role in the rejection of Jesus as the Messiah. Picture first-century Judea, a land under the iron thumb of Roman occupation. The Jewish people yearned for liberation, aching for a Messiah who would deliver them from the yoke of foreign tyranny. They envisioned a leader who would restore Jewish sovereignty, a beacon of hope amidst the oppressive darkness. Yet when Jesus arrived on the scene, his ministry took an unexpected turn. Instead of rallying troops to overthrow the Roman oppressors, he preached messages of love, forgiveness, and spiritual salvation. Instead of promising a restored physical kingdom, he spoke of a heavenly one. This was a far cry from the militant liberator many Jews anticipated. The longing for freedom from Rome was profound, and when Jesus did not align with these expectations, it led to further skepticism. When Jesus' ministry did not focus on overthrowing Roman rule or establishing a physical kingdom, It further contributed to his rejection by some within the Jewish community.